Let me cut on it. I need her. So
Hi everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. As you can see, I don't know if you noticed, I don't know if anybody notices, but I'm never really at home when I do YouTube videos anymore. I'm definitely living in different headquarters right now, but I will be back in my normal space probably like next week or the week after next. But right now I'm trying to take a break, and I'm gonna get more into that today. Today is a story time, and I just got my hair done, so it itches a lot. I'm definitely gonna be talking about a lot of things that I'm pretty sure a lot of people don't know about. So I'll probably I really don't like talking that much. I get so tongue tied. Um, I'll probably be talking more so about the situation that happened before I went on spring break. God dang. Before I went on spring break, but it'll probably be summarized because it's kind of long, and that doesn't mean I'm not gonna tell you like the whole story. It just means like it's gonna be shorter than the actual story. So. And while I do that, I'm probably going to be doing a makeup tutorial as well. It's probably, hold on. As you can see, I have plans. Anyway, I'm not sure what color I'm going to do yet. I'm probably going to do orange because I'm wearing orange. And orange, you glad. Orange, you glad. Anyway, I'm going to get started. I'm definitely in college. So I think a lot of times we get stressed out and we take on a lot more stuff than we think that we can like deal with. But however, my situation is a little different. I've definitely had problems with anger for a bit. I've had problems when I was like younger. It was definitely like tantrums, and then it just kept growing and growing and growing. So like I really don't have like a calm down type life when it comes to being angry. Somebody told me like when I am angry I just like get all angry. I let it out. I let it out. And I think about that a lot because it's not something that I've ignored. It's not something that I try to sweep under the rug. I definitely am talking to a counselor. I'm doing a lot of different things to help myself. However, I'm not always the problem. But since everybody thinks I am, I mean, you can think whatever. Like, you can have your own opinion, and I get that. But the situation affected a lot of people and affected some of my friends and how I was feeling. And it determined who is my friend and who isn't my friend. So basically, just know, before I really dig in, just know who you're talking to. Like, know who your friends are, keep them close, because even like if you think you know somebody, they will definitely like prove you wrong. It depends on who that person is. I'm not saying everybody is trustworthy. We all have that one person that, you know, we maybe we don't all have that one person. Maybe we all have like that generosity feel. I don't know. If you're like a different sign than me, I'm a Pisces, so if you feel some type of way about feelings, I really don't know. But I know I feel pretty emotional. I get really emotional. But like I said, I'm doing the best to control myself. But you have to only be that's the only thing I can do about the situation is make sure that I'm okay and that I better my actions and that I do better. It's not everybody else. Everybody else doesn't matter. They never did it. So you kind of have to do things for yourself. Um, Me going to that counselor really helped a lot. There's a lot of different things over break. I went back home to Atlanta, and I didn't film at all. Actually, I did, but it was in my bathroom. I didn't do like a journal or anything. Give me getting on the plane. I was gonna do that, but I was in such a bad mood, so I just felt like there was no point. But what was I talking about? Basically, before, did I say I was home or while? Oh no, yeah. Basically, when I was home, I was going to my boyfriend's house, and his oil was leaking, so he didn't want to come pick me up. So I got this lift. Now, mind you, I'm in the back of the lift, like nothing is weird at all. He's just making casual conversation, and he asked me, finally, oh, like what church home do you go to? So I told him my church home. I told him where I go to church in Atlanta, and he was like, oh, okay, that's fine. And he hands me this card and tells me to come to this, service in Jonesboro. And I was like, okay, thank you. Like, it's generous. So I wasn't gonna like say, please don't, give me a card. Like, yeah, I'll look at it. Like, I'll look into it or whatever. So finally, after that, he asked me, oh, he was like, you're dyslexic, aren't you? Now, for y'all that don't know what dyslexia is, it's a learning disability I have, that when you see words and things are backwards. I used to read backwards, so yeah, but I used to read and write backwards, but that's a whole different story time. But basically, he was right. Like, I had dyslexia, and I was looking at him like, who are you and how do you know my life story? And he just went on about how he felt that my energy was, like, he said he felt my energy. He understood where I was coming from. He said, oh, I know you have, like, a big heart and all this stuff. And I'm like, who are you, basically? But anyway, even when I had this situation, I wasn't thinking, like, oh, somebody's going to come up to me and know my life story and tell me about myself. No, I was literally talking to a Lyft driver, and he just started saying all this stuff, and it was so accurate. It was, like, at least 90% accurate. And I was really amazed because I'm a very spiritual person, so if that was an angel, that's a blessing. And then he told me I was an angel, and I was like, you know what? You definitely don't know me. But I don't know. You can't deny certain things that happen. And it's weird because it's like, it's unexplainable, but it's so spot on, so accurate, so current, like, to the moment. It makes sense at the time. And it's such an embarrassing story. But it doesn't matter because I haven't been to jail. I don't have any kids, okay? I'm doing good. Maybe not, because I really meant that. Like, I'm doing a good job. It is not easy to do a good job. Like, some of y'all think it's easy to just, like, not do some things you want to do. Like, me, I don't know. I love being 100%. So if I feel like I can't be 100% with somebody, then I don't want to be around that person. But this story is not anything about that. So I went over my friend's house. I was originally at my old roommate's house, and I was like, I'm gonna go to this other kid's house because I wanted him to drive me to Wendy's. And I was like, okay, I'll do that. So I went there. I went to Wendy's. I came back, and I guess, like, I wasn't acting myself. Basically, I wasn't acting myself. And nobody told me about myself, which I think is so funny. Like, if one of your friends is acting wild, wouldn't you tell that friend? But, I I guess not. So I guess I was acting out a bit, and no one really told me about myself. So of course I was unaware, but at the same time, I blame myself for not being aware of my surroundings and the people I surround myself with. So So after I don't even know. After I was acting out, somebody called me out on it. Nobody sat me down and told me otherwise. Like, hey, you're getting, kind of wild. Like, calm down. Use a glass of water. No, nobody did that. Instead, I got in a screaming match with somebody. It really doesn't even matter who that person is. And they were like, your vibe is tearing up everything. It's so bad. You gotta leave. Blah blah blah. And I'm looking at him like, what are you talking about? And then I get really super angry because he's yelling at me, and I have no idea as to what's going on. Nobody's telling me anything. Nobody is saying anything. Everybody's just like stiff, and he's just going off, and I'm like, what is happening? So he keeps yelling, and like I flipped out. I broke this cup. I broke somebody's cup, and then I got mad. I threw my phone. I kind of broke like the edges of my phone. Excuse me, I was in my nose. I lost my meal card. I lost my debit card, but I canceled it and got a new one because I'm an adult. And then, I don't know, I just looked at the mirror. I locked myself in the bathroom. And when I locked myself in the bathroom, I opened the door. Opened the door, and somebody is yelling at me. And as that person is yelling at me, not even yelling, just talking, and as I was talking back to that person, they just start choking me. They just start choking me. Like I'm talking to you, you're talking to me. Somebody just starts choking somebody. That's basically what happened. So as this is happening, I realize they're barreling me out the house. Somebody's holding my feet, and the other person is grabbing my neck. I normally don't even do this, but I'm trying to make this look really good. Anyway, I realize I'm outside the house, and then at this point I'm just screaming to the top of my lungs because nobody's telling me anything. And I have no idea that I was even as loud as I was, because I'm definitely a type person that just starts yelling and doesn't even know that they're yelling. I don't know if people don't think that's a thing. It's definitely a thing with me. Like I definitely cannot tell when, especially when I'm angry. Like if I'm talking to you and I'm getting frustrated, I'm just talking to you. I don't hear my voice leveling up. I really don't. It just happens. And basically, I was really, really loud, and I woke up like most of the neighborhood. And they were saying like they were gonna call the police. All this other stuff started happening, and that was the only thing I broke in the house that I was in. Like, I guess at one point I opened the door and I broke a fan. Like, I literally pulled it back hard enough to hit, I pulled the door hard enough to hit the fan, which is like crazy. Like, how did that happen? But anyway, it definitely did happen though. I definitely did break it. But I don't even know how, like, that's equivalent to, like, I don't know how. But anyway, after that, it was just, it was basically downhill from there. Like, it was such a rough night. I think either I cut myself or the person choking me, like, I don't know. I cut my mouth, like, right here, and it was bleeding on my shirt. And my friend was hopefully, luckily, home, and he was seeing me like freak out, and he came and brought me to his house. He was trying to, cause I kept trying to come back in. I kept trying to come back in. I was swatting at people. I was like pulling folks' hair. I like kicked somebody. It was pretty bad. I really, really like. And then it's funny because like 5 minutes later, not even, the person that choked me actually gave a hug, and then I walked off. And it's really funny because it's like, that's so random. Like after all of that, I give a hug and I walk away. But anyway, that's what happened. And I don't know. I feel like sometimes we have these problems and we're not verbal about them. And everybody wants to keep everything like in and not to the public eye. But nobody wants to be human anymore. Like we all kind of just do this like act of not being ourselves. Like of course I'm gonna make mistakes. I'm 21 years old. 21. If I was 35 with like 3 kids, I would be nervous. Many people should be nervous at that point. But no. I'm definitely young. I'm not saying what I did was acceptable. I'm not justifying anything that I did. I'm not saying please try this at home. Please don't try this at home. Like it depends on your personality and it depends on who you are. And today I definitely learned that to give people the upper hand is like a disservice to yourself and to what you want. So like say if I had like a remote, right? And it controls everybody. Or it can control you. Like I can make you cry, I can make you laugh, change colors, all this stuff. And it's really ridiculous because you're giving, that's what it's like. It's like giving somebody full control over your anger and over your temper. Like for somebody to do something as little as call you out your name. Like I know females, as a female, I get really upset when, especially a dude, calls me out of my name, but he's a dog. It's like you're not gonna be upset if you walk by this dog every day, like say from home, and it's barking at you. Like you know it's not gonna get you. It barks at you every single day. Like it's an irrelevant dog, so you don't have to worry about you don't have to call the police or call the pound. Because a dog is in its yard outside barking at you like, oh my god, this dog is barking, like fix it, fix it. No, you would ignore it because you already know what that dog is about, what it's about to do, what it's about to say. Like, just ignore it and move on. But it's not the easiest thing to ignore people either because we got buttons. That's all I'm saying with the remote thing. Like, don't let nobody push your buttons because I don't know what I'm doing. That looks really weird. Don't let nobody push your buttons. That's what I did. Like, I always give people the benefit of the doubt and the upper hand of my temper instead of me just controlling myself and not worried about what they're talking about. Like, I don't have to hear nothing you're saying. That's another thing I gotta learn. It's like, it's no point. It's no point. Like, that's why I really don't like Love and Hip Hop either because all they do is yell and scream. If you yell and scream at your boss, you're jobless. Like, you have to learn how to do things without being so wild. You have to, like, dial things down. And that's definitely me. Like, I have to dial things down, too. But it takes 2 to tango. That's all I gotta say. But I mean, and definitely watch yourself too, because you talking about like, okay, yeah, it does take 2 to tango, but just be careful who you call your friends, cause even though I'm never regretful, like I'm not regretful of this whole incident happening, because new things and stuff like this happen, and it kind of opens up your eyes as to what things really are, instead of you always sweeping it under the rug, saying, you know, it's okay, like, it's no big deal. It's a big deal. It is a big deal. So that's why I'm really glad, like, what happened. I'm not glad I broke things in someone else's home. That's not good. That's not of my character. I don't break people's things in their houses. But it's not something like I love talking about. You see how hard it was for me to just say like what I was trying to say, because I don't like talking about it. But at the same time, it's like I'm human, and it's not saying like, oh, I'm gonna put my business out in the street so the person hiring me can judge me. Please don't. I'm not trying to be like, oh, like, I feel like this is just the best I can do when it comes to being myself, because if I can just tell you what's going on in my life, or if I can just be honest about a story, I feel like I can be honest about a lot of things. Like, you might want to trust me, because when it comes to honesty and admitting my wrongs and seeing what I have to do to fix my wrongs and trying to get my life back on track. It was on track at one point, trust me. I was on a really good roll this semester for you college students. I was on a really good roll, but that's life. Like, we all on good rolls until we fall off. Like, but we have to get back up. That's what defines us. So I feel like that is the only thing that matters. But people have their opinion, and I'm gonna let them have their opinion. And if somebody's talking about you or shaming you, especially like I've lost 3 friends, I want to say, but not even like lost them, I just don't. It's really like, well, I can say lost because it's more like a funeral. It's the death of a friendship. But it is what it is, because you do your best. Like, if you can't help something, if your egos don't, match up, if the vibe is off, the energy is off, people are negative, then you gotta do what you gotta do. It becomes your problem. It becomes, the ball is in your courts. You have to figure out what you want to do. You have to figure out how you want to fix things, and you have to figure out what to do to move on, successfully move on. But again, I'm not justifying none of my actions. Point blank, period. I was wrong. However, I wasn't the only person. That's all I'm saying. It's like y'all always, it's a lot of times in a situation we blame one person. Unless it's really that person's fault. Like, that happens, but sometimes it takes two to tango. And I feel like if there is an altercation, like, especially if it's verbal, oh, both y'all have a fault. But I can only do my part, and that's admitting my wrongs. But nobody seems to think about like what it takes to be yourself, or to be like accepted in society. Like, we always wearing these Balenciagas and Gucci and all this stuff, and it's like only to be accepted, not because you want to buy it, only to be accepted. Some people really do look cute in their stuff and really want their stuff and work for the things. Like, that's why I like certain people. That's why I like Tip. That's why I like Diddy. That's why I like Jay-Z, because they work for these things. They didn't just wake up a billionaire. Like, they worked for it. So I feel like if you can't really like express yourself and be who you are, not what you see, then you probably have to look at yourself again. Like, you probably have to work on some things, because focusing on what everybody else does over here trying to be perfect. Like, who wants to be perfect? Honestly, if you think about like the time and the patience it would take to cover up all your problems, probably some problems you need help with too. Like, people can help you out, but you steady lying. Like, oh, nothing's going on, I'm fine. But you might want to keep your business to yourself, that's fine. And take care of it privately. Like with a shrink. I'm just kidding, that's probably an offensive term. With a psychologist or some type of counselor, that would help. I mean, that is my major. Just saying. But I don't know. And that's another thing. I have to work on myself in order to help other people. Like, I'm not gonna change what I want to do, who I want to be, where I want to go, where I want to go. I guess that's tongue tied. Where I want to go. Like, it's a bump in the road, but like I said, who has time to be perfect? If you have the time and the patience to be perfect, more power to you, because it takes a lot of work. I know, because I've tried. I'm getting mad. I can't find this brush. Oh, it's right there. Nah, that's it. Anyway, back to what I was saying. You can definitely be yourself. I mean, I've been truthful a lot about this, and like I said with that guy, that Lyft driver guy, I was not expecting none of that. I was not expecting no signs. I was not expecting no type of, visitation from above. I was not expecting none of that. So when things happen like that, I feel favored and I feel loved and blessed. And a lot of people think and can think and will think I'm crazy for what, I believe in. And that's fine, because I know what I'm doing. Y'all stay running like chickens with your heads cut off, not knowing what to do next. But some people really do. Like, if you indulge in your faith or indulge in whatever you believe in, I'm pretty sure that you get where I'm coming from. Like, you have to understand that there is a higher power. But if you don't believe that, that's fine. I believe that, and I believe that higher power always serves me justice, and I'm forever grateful. Always. I've always been blessed. Always been blessed. Just because, like, everything hasn't always been peachy keen, and, some turns took, some doors closed, some doors open. Like, it's been a blessing. It's been a give, take life. So, and that's another thing. If everything was fair, if everybody had money, if everybody was up, things would be a lot different. Things would be a lot different. And people can help other people get up on their money and be something and do other things. That's why I want to be a psychologist. That's why I want people to understand that they still have some type of mental stability in order to be somebody, instead of thinking that, I'm insane, I'm not going to get any help, I'm not going to get any blah, blah, blah. And it's some people out here with real problems, trust me. Like, they got real issues and they real sick. But you can really help somebody. Like, you can help people be what they want to be, or help them get better. And that's why I want to help myself first, so I can bless the land. LOL. But I really do. And it's a work in progress. Like, it's not something that's going to happen in a couple of years, in a couple of days, in a couple of months. I've been working on this for years. That's what I meant to say. I've been working on myself for years, and it's going to take a minute, because it's so built in me to just freak out. But self-control is everything. And as a woman, I have to claim that. Because y'all fools, y'all got a rise out of me. Like, people gonna get a rise out of you, but you gotta make sure they don't ever do it again. And that's just, I feel like that's a whole statement to yourself. Like, be true to yourself. You over here trying to be true to a friend that has no, like, remorse for you, or any, like, sympathy or empathy for you. Like, don't be friends with a person like that. They're not gonna help you. They're not gonna want you to succeed and do wonderful things. They're not gonna, you know, triumph you. They're not gonna do any of that. They're going to judge and probably manipulate you if you let them. But it depends on you. I'm saying a lot of things like them, they, the. Nah, it's all you. Like, it's all me. If I have a problem, it's up to me to solve it. If you have a problem, it's up to you to solve it. That's why it's called life. Nobody's out here to help everybody. Like, there's no fund for it, like a foundation for hard life living. No, there's nothing like that. Unless there's like a homeless shelter. That's different. That's if you hit rock bottom. I'm talking about if you messing up right now and you're a young adult, or you're not a young adult and you're just an adult, like 35. I don't know what a good middle age is. What's a good middle young age? Like 45, 35? I don't know. I'm young. I don't think people take me that seriously. But it depends. Like, we all make mistakes. Like, what's going on now, that's not going to matter 6 months from now. What's going to matter 6 months from now is me paying a water bill, me paying rent, me paying, like, stuff like that. Like, gas, money. Like, real life problems. Like, and it's not in college either. Like, what happens in college, it definitely makes you, not makes you, it molds you. You could be like anybody you want to be, but I feel like all my experiences, everything I go through is for a reason, and it really gives credit to people that are molded, or people that, I don't know, they just ain't got no chill. Like, I just ain't got no chill some days, but I feel like a lot of females are like that. And it's not even because we're on our period. It's because we're women. We give life, we have a great responsibility. I'm not talking down to a man when I say that. I just mean, like, we're just as equal, just as beautiful. Sometimes we're just as strong. Like, there's no need to be biased towards me just because I'm a woman. Like, if you feel that you need to say some disrespectful, out of pocket stuff to me, like, I made you feel that sort of way. Like, you giving me the power to make you feel some type of way. Like, and that's a lot of power. Like I said with that remote, it's a lot of power, and you giving that away. So, I advise, if you get angry easily, like me, just work on it. I'm definitely working on myself. Every day I work on myself, and it's a work in progress. I've been getting closer to my faith. I've been getting closer to my family. I've been working hard on things that I need to work hard on. This is my first semester getting all A's, and I hope I'm not jinxing this when I say it. But yes, I have all A's. And that is something that is, that's amazing. Like, I put in hard work all the time. I'm on my stuff all the time. Like, I work hard. Not saying like I'm perfect, not saying like, oh, all the time. I kind of did something like a little snob, but I'm not perfect. Trust me. Just know that I put in a lot of work to do what I do. And it's not something that's easily done. Like, none of this is handed to me. I work for everything. And my mom wants to hand me everything, but I'm not with that. I'm trying to be a working, independent person that knows what it's like to not have and to want to give and to receive. Well, mostly give, because that's a gift in itself, is to give the gift of life and love and joy. I want to make somebody's day. Like, that would be nice. But at the same time, to help somebody is way more valuable than making their day. Like, when you help your patients or whoever, they're not always wanting to receive the information that you have to give them because of where they're at in life. And I just hope that can change. Like, and if it doesn't change, that's fine. Like, there's only so much I can do about it. And you paying me anyway, so. But at the same time, I really want my clients to be like, I understand. Like, not saying like, oh, I get it, like, but just know how valuable they are to me and to themselves and to the world. I mean, I could say like, oh, you're so valuable, and you won't believe it, but like, if I actually meant it and pour that into you, probably. But that's way more than what psychologists do. They get the gist of things, they get the gist of information, they get the gist of situations. They really dissect feelings, and they analyze feelings, and they kind of get to know like who you are as a person, but also who you don't want to be. Because a lot of people come in and they want to change the life that they're having. They want to, fix their partner for marriage counseling. They want to do all this stuff, but you're not necessarily thinking about like, okay, I'm going to come out of here and I'm going to continue in my life in a different way. Because not everybody's going to touch you like that. Not everybody's going to get your vibe going, your vibe moving. Not everybody's just going to like Dr. Phil wow you. And I'm going to be an occupational therapist, so, but I do want to do psychology at one point because it's really interesting. Seems like something I'd be good at, maybe. Like I said, I have a long way to go. And I know that, and I embrace that. And as a young woman, I think that's very important to embrace the fact that you know what you're doing. Man, I definitely fall off consistency. Like, if it's something I want to do, even these videos, like, I gotta stay consistent. I gotta be on it. I gotta, give y'all a new video every week. I'm working on that. I gotta really be on my stuff because I want to be somebody. Like, I want to do something, and I want, I want everybody to like feel. It's basically the whole story. But the gist of my story is just to be yourself, be anybody say so, like, be yourself. And if things don't work out your way, then you have to learn how to accept what is for what is. Like, you can't change everything. You can't make things go away overnight, no matter what you do. So, if you make a mistake, if you get embarrassed, and I get embarrassed a lot. I don't know if I embarrass myself or it's like some type of setup, but I embarrass myself a lot. I just fell. Not too long ago, scraped my arm. Everybody was like, oh, we should have recorded it. Like, y'all are some fans, by the way. Like, but it doesn't matter because these little L's, these little trips, all this stuff, like, it really doesn't matter to me. I think, most of the time when I get embarrassed, I laugh at myself because I feel like that's the only thing you can do at that point. Like, what's the point of, like, judging you? Like, you gonna judge you now? Everybody in the room judging you, so you might as well just laugh. Because it is funny. But not to, like, say that you shouldn't stick up for yourself, because if something go down and it's really messed up, stick up for yourself. So, I'm going to cut it off because it's definitely getting longer and longer and longer. But before I do that, I'm going to do my under eye. Oh, and this is another thing. This is a release for me. So, I don't even like doing my eye like that. I really don't like doing my water gasket because Lord knows I cry a lot. It's a new thing for me. I have to get really quiet and focused. That's really cute. But basically what I mean is just be yourself at all times. You gonna mess up, especially in college, bro. My college ain't even that wild and I'm messing up. Like, I found a way. But understand that it's a mistake. And people gonna judge you, but they need to look in the mirror, for real. Before they talk about anybody. But they talk about anybody. Oh, it's really cute. But I'm going to put on highlight and lip liner and mascara and conclude the video. Please stay tuned. Alright guys, so this is the finished look. Actually, un momento. Setting spray. Okay, now this is the finished look. So basically, I just did my lips, and I put things in my eyes and my mascara, and that is it. So I really hope today's video was helpful for anybody that was going through anything similar. I've definitely been, like I said, I've been through this a lot. So it's not like a cry for help, because I have to help myself. So just understand that at the end of the day, you're more so in control of what you want to do and your actions and how you want to carry your life. And I'm a very blessed person, so I'm going to continue being blessed. I'm going to continue making mistakes, unfortunately, but I'm always going to get back up once I fall. So, good night.
Standing over how they greet my guys. Straight out the mud like a clean no life. Never had time for the tea to kind.